This is Heavy Conversation with Bruce and Jody, a podcast where we talk about being a big guy in today's world. I'm Bruce. And I'm Jody. Here we go.
Here we go.
All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Here we go. Hey, Bruce.
Hey. How's it going, Jody?
Good. How are you, Fat Albert? What was that? Hey.
I know. I don't know. I just felt like I needed to do something different. It felt right at the time.
It was like, that sounds like Fat Albert.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
I know. I didn't. It's all I had. So yeah. No, I'm good. I spent all day outside. I worked outside.
Nice.
I work on a laptop all day. So
usually, okay. I thought you were like working in the yard.
Oh, no.
Just on the porch working.
Yeah, I was out on the deck.
Yeah.
And just like, I don't know.
It's gorgeous here.
It's too nice. I can't.
Oh my God.
I can't stay inside, and I really needed it, and I more than ever just need to be able to be outside and enjoy it. And so
yeah, I went for a little late morning walk just to kind of get the funk out of my system, and
nice.
Yeah, it was nice. Went and grabbed a coffee and walked around the block, a big block around, and
it's kind of
so nice.
A good way to prep for today's episode of Heavy Conversation.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Which this week, normally we take a topic, hit that topic, and there we go. And this week we're going to do, something that we do from time to time where we just kind of talk about whatever, talk about what's going on, talk about things that we've been up to in the last few weeks, things that have happened in the world, or things that are happening in the, the big and tall industry, or whatever, those kind of things, and just kind of having a conversation about them.
You get to listen to two friends just talking about whatever the hell they want to talk about.
Exactly, which is the whole point of Heavy Conversation has been that. So, we just kind of wanted to jump in with a few things. And I even made a list when we talked about doing this. I just thought, okay, what do I want to talk about? And
what do people want to know about Bruce from the past couple of weeks?
Yes, well, whether they want to or not, they're about to find out.
Here it comes.
Yep. So the first thing that I'll start with, we'll get the heaviest part out of the way. So I have been riding my bike again because it's beautiful out, and I need that. It's like it's an amazing release, and just having that thing to do makes such a big difference. And so I went out for a bike ride, and it was supposed to be a relatively short bike ride, 8 to 10 miles for me. Is I ride pretty regularly, so so that's that's okay for me to do. And I went with my father-in-law, and he's an avid cyclist and has been doing it for a long time. And we were going to take one path, and the path that we were going to take was blocked off. So we had to take another way around, and somehow our 8 to 10 mile bike ride turned into a 30-mile odyssey. Complete with he blew a tire. We got out to the outskirts of the Portland metro area. It was great. It was a lot of fun. Until there was one part where I'm riding down the street, and all of a sudden these dudes in a car going to turn into a apartment complex that I was riding past. And the driver had the window down. He's like, sir, you're too big to be riding that bike.
Wow.
Yes. Which, that's not something that happens that often.
And it was like a sir, excuse me. Not cursing out the window at you. That's
right.
weird.
Right. And so, I just looked back, and I was like, well, I'm 25 miles in, and it's been all right so far.
Right? F you.
Kept going. Yeah.
I could probably ride further than you can.
Yeah. So, I don't get a ton of that kind of stuff in day-to-day life.
And you're like, the bike you have is like a big heavy duty bike.
Right.
So it's not like you're riding like what is that, a Huffy?
Right. It's not like a bike or like a bear on a unicycle or something.
Yeah. I'm like, what?
Right. No.
Man. What a way to like.
Yeah,
it could ruin your bike ride, but
it's one of those things that I've been thinking about a lot, and just kind of think it, like, I think that in the past, something like that really would have would
Mhm.
have knocked me down a bit. But then I also, the way that I'm thinking about it is like, I was toward the end of a 30-mile bike
Yeah,
ride,
exactly.
you
Like,
know, in Portland, Oregon, going up and down hills, doing
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
thing, and so it's just I don't know. It goes to show me, it reinforces to me that this stuff that we do is still important.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That even if we feel like we are seeing progress and we're seeing um, people become more accepting of those of us with bigger bodies or different bodies, or people who don't
Hmm.
fit into whatever that square is that's considered to be, normal,
Yeah,
uh, air quotes,
yeah,
then it's there's still a lot of work to be done.
yeah.
So
They,
uh,
yeah, we need to get more big bodies on bikes. So
yes, and it also just goes to show that you can't you can't take that kind of stuff in,
yeah.
especially when you know what you're capable of and what you can do.
Well, yeah,
So
exactly. Well, I'm
that
glad
was
that it didn't like ruin the good bike riding experience that you had overall, but it was just like
right.
a really
Yeah, totally.
like
It was.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it makes no difference to, what I did. It
Hmm.
was the second longest bike ride I've ever done,
Hmm.
and I mean, I'm proud of it, and I'm gonna go back out and do it again. Hopefully not getting lost this time. I'm gonna do it
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
purpose. So
But sometimes those are where the fun happens, where you don't know where
totally.
you're really going, and
Yep.
you get more adventure, and you had a good time with your father-in-law, and
Yeah. It
yeah,
was great. I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad to get out there, and I'm excited to get out there and do it again.
yeah,
So
yeah. I've been thinking they have one of those like Nike bike station things where you can like rent a bike right outside here.
yes.
So I might have to try and oh well, my friend is coming into town to late tonight,
Oh,
so I'm
nice.
gonna maybe try and get us to go explore a little bit of Portland on a bike. And
That would be awesome.
yeah, I
So I
don't
think
I don't know how much he's up for it, but we're gonna do it.
I love those Nike Town bikes.
Are they good? Are they
I
decent?
Which I will still say, number one, it should be called Bikey Town,
Bikey
because
down.
I mean, come on,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
missing
yeah.
an opportunity. But yes, the Nike Town bikes they're really good. I've only taken a ride on one once,
Okay.
and that was before I had my own bike, and I I got one for the naked bike ride.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, that's right.
yes,
Well,
yes,
I
they
used to do. They had a nice. It's called Nice Ride in Minneapolis.
yeah.
It's like Minnesota Nice, and they had a station outside my apartment. I'd take those bikes all over the
Oh,
place, and
they're
they were
awesome.
great. So yeah,
Yeah, they're really easy to ride. I think they've got like internal shifters or something like that.
I
So it's
don't
like
know.
it's super easy to, to shift your gears
Hmm.
and ride. And they hold, I want to say there's a weight capacity of like 300 or 350 or
Well, maybe
right,
I'll be
right.
pushing it, but whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's, I was slightly concerned, but I can tell you that my naked ass on the Nike bike, it did just fine. So luckily that day, because somebody is going to be listening to this saying why,
Why?
they did put they had seat covers. They had disposable
Hmm.
seat
Hmm.
covers on all of their bikes across the Portland metro area for the naked bike ride, because they knew there were going to be people like me that were going to use their cycles
Hmm.
for that. So there we
Oh, and
go.
yeah, you can get a membership or just do a single ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only done that in two cities. The Nike one here, but then I also did one in New York. I think it was like Citibank bike. I don't know, something like that, sponsored by Citibank or something along those lines. I don't remember now, but um, yeah, I rode all over Brooklyn
Oh, that's
on
right. I remember you talking about that.
yeah, yeah. Lost as I was in an intersection. I lost my bag with all the clothes, and the clothes went flying into the intersection everywhere,
Mhm.
which was always fun. So memorable. So every time I rent a bike, it's a memorable experience.
Yeah. So I'm
There we
gonna
go.
figure that out because, like I said, it's right outside my apartment
You
building
should
here. So
totally nice. Yeah.
now I'm getting lost in looking at that. So
Have you been watching anything? Any shows you're into?
What have I? And I keep calling it something that it's not called. The Winter Soldier
Okay.
and whatever.
All right. Here we are,
That
Jody.
show. Yes, I
Here
have
we
been
are.
watching that, and it was really good.
So
It's really good, I think.
we've made it this many weeks. By the time this comes out, it'll be 4.5 weeks without talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
and the Winter Soldier,
which of course I've been watching like crazy. And it's amazing. Have you seen the latest episode?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
it was intense at the end there.
it was so intense. Like it was over, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't feel good."
Yeah. Well, leading like that whole episode, I'm just like, he's about to crack. Like something's happening here with it. Like
So
all the pressure, like whatever. Yeah.
yeah. So
Captain America. Whatever.
yes, if you haven't been, if you're not watching the show, it's a Marvel show. It's based around Falcon and the Winter Soldier from the Avengers, and
Yes.
it's
Spoilers.
yes. It's basically the continuation of their story after the last Avengers movie. So all the things that happened in that, which most of the world has seen based on the billions of dollars they made with that movie. So I'm not going to rehash that, but these guys are back, and it's kind of they're going through, and they are they're dealing with a new thing that's come up. They're dealing with a few different new things that have come up, and one of them is that there is now a new Captain America. And at the end of Endgame, old man Cap gave his shield to Sam, to Falcon, and was basically like, "You take it. You're the guy who needs it." From what we're seeing now, he didn't feel like he could do that, and so he gave the shield to the Smithsonian, and the U.S. government promptly took the shield from the Smithsonian and gave it to someone else. And this guy who has it now, I've heard many different names for this guy. He's like, he just looks so bad in the suit, and he's got the mask on. Somebody said that he looked like Carl from Up wearing the Captain America mask in the very first shot. I've heard he's not Captain America, he's Dollar General, or
oh wow.
Then I've heard
Dollar General.
And what did I hear today? I heard he's the Wish.com Captain America, which yes, everybody can understand that. So this guy is just he's not good at the job. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He feels like he's got something to prove.
I guess I'm a little confused about how he has his super strength initially.
He didn't.
But he was like strong though, wasn't he?
So spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the show and you're planning to, you probably want to jump ahead probably 5 minutes.
Okay.
But you've been warned. So when he started, John Walker was he was just a highly decorated
soldier,
military guy. Yeah. And he was chosen to be Captain America. He didn't have any abilities. He didn't have any strength or any of that. But in this last episode, he ended up getting one of their vials of the super.
I thought he was strong, or was it just the shield that was?
It's just the shield. He was a regular dude.
Okay.
Because before
he's just using the shield's power to bust through things.
Yes, because he took a beating from the Dora Milaje.
Oh my God!
Yes,
I want them to get a show. They need to make a show about them. They're so badass. Like
yes, in the episode where they showed
we have authority wherever we are, or whatever they.
Right.
Oh my God! I was like, hell yeah.
When they showed Wakanda at the beginning, and it was just like, and the whole thing where they showed that Bucky was not. They could say the words and it wasn't going to affect him.
It didn't turn him to whatever. Yeah.
Right. It was so good. But yeah, so this Captain America has really been trying to, I think he just thinks that he's trying to work for I don't even know. He's not the right guy for the job.
Yeah.
He thinks that he should just get everything that Steve Rogers had as Captain America.
But he hasn't earned it.
He got it. He hasn't earned it.
He hasn't earned it, and it gets a little carried away at the end of that.
Right.
This whatever fourth episode or whatever.
Yeah, he has a sidekick who's basically been like his conscience through the whole series because this Captain America is He's impetuous. He's
Yeah, he just
hot-headed
wants to go in guns blazing, and
always.
yeah,
And so his partner is always kind of the voice of reason and is like, okay, let's wait. They might be
hmm
right. Let's listen to them.
yeah,
And he cools them down most of the time. And so there's a battle going on, and the partner accidentally gets punched by somebody, by a super soldier. And I mean,
yeah,
you get punched like that. I
yeah.
mean, he was dead. And so so Dollar General goes out and jumps out a window. He does a couple Captain America moves, but then he chases after one of the people and brutally
Yeah,
murders this guy in
it
front
was
of a
bad.
bunch of people who also had like phones.
And
They
he wasn't even the person that killed
right,
his partner.
no.
So I was just like, whoa.
He lost it. He lost
Yeah.
it. And it was, and that very last shot was like horrible and iconic. I mean, it was
Mhm.
just like
Yeah, yeah.
the blood on the shield and all of that. Oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
it was just.
It
I
was very intense.
it was that this show has really gone places that I didn't expect, and
Yeah.
it's been really. I'm really impressed that a company as big as Marvel or Disney in this
hmm
case
hmm
would try and do that. There's even a
Well,
story
they're
that they're.
showing kind of some of that darker, underside of superheroes or whatever these people are.
I feel like in a lot of ways they're reflecting our world through these stories,
Yeah, which
which
they
I mean
should.
has always been the way
hmm
that even before comics, stories have always done that. And what they're really doing that's interesting is they're talking politics, they're talking race. There is a thread that I'm hoping they finish in the next couple episodes about another super soldier who is a black man that ended up getting the serum and
Oh yeah, yeah,
was
yeah.
basically incarcerated for I think it was like 30 years. It was
Yep,
something
yep.
crazy. And so after that episode, I went back and I read the comic that was based off of, and oh man, it was rough. It was rough. It was horrible. I mean, like it was. I I can't remember what it's called now. Um, I'll have to look. I'll have to look it up so that if you have access to Marvel Unlimited, you can. That's the Marvel app that lets you go back through all the comics and
Okay,
all of that,
okay.
and you can go through and see. You can read it for yourself. But man,
Yeah, that was an
it is
interesting,
intense.
yeah, little
Yeah,
backstory thing. Yeah, I like when
totally.
they do that, and
But they're going to
really-
lead that's going to lead up to some other things, and that was one of the things that they were trying to do with it is they're going to lead into, okay, here it is, it's called Truth, Red, White, and Black.
okay.
And it is, if you have a specific idea of what comics are, especially maybe Marvel Comics or DC or the big comics companies, this is not that. This is it's dark, it's sad, it's very intense. I think the story around that and around, they're talking about how hard it even how hard it was for Falcon to get a loan, to go into a
Oh
bank
yeah,
and get a loan. I mean, there's so much around this that is really interesting that they're
yeah.
touching on,
Still a lot
that
of
I hope they,
racism and stuff going on.
yeah, and I hope they continue with this, to kind of, I think it, I think it's good because it's really easy for these kind of shows to just be one dimensional, and
hmm
it's good and evil, and there's a lot of gray here,
Oh yeah,
and that makes
that
it
does
really
make it.
interesting.
Yeah, it makes it way more interesting for me. I like because
Yes,
it gives the story more depth, and because
right.
you can still understand the bad guy and maybe sympathize or root for them
Yes,
because whatever, but it's not just they're evil and that's it,
right.
or
And
they're good and that's it. Like showing the fact that the new Captain America is like kind of not the great guy, and
oh, he sucks.
there's a reason why. I don't know the lady's name that they're after. Why is she being bad? Like
Yeah,
she's actually
Carly Morgenthau. Yeah,
she's trying to be this hero for her people and whatever,
right.
but she's going about it not maybe the greatest way. And
they all have real motivations that
Yeah.
you can understand. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And yes, Baron Zemo is back, who is he was in Age of Ultron, I believe. Is that
Mhm.
it? Am I
I
right?
don't
It
know.
was
I
the
don't know.
Winter Soldier. No, it was the Winter Soldier. The Winter Soldier. And he yeah, he's back, and they actually give him the purple mask, which was from the comics, and he's hilarious. He there's a whole dancing thing that people went crazy about, him in the club doing a little dance. It was like a 2-second part that Marvel released a YouTube video that's like an hour of that
Oh,
with
geez.
outtakes just repeating.
I'll have to go look for that.
Yeah. Anyway, it's good. I'm glad we've brought it up here because I've been
Yeah.
watching it and loving it and meaning to talk about it. So yes, good
Very
stuff.
good.
Yes.
It's
yes.
a recommended on Disney Plus.
Yes.
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. Yes. So I got my first vaccine.
Yes,
The first,
congratulations.
thank you. Shot number 1. Yeah. I did it at the convention center here in Portland with 1,000 of my best friends.
Yep.
It was the first time
You're close.
Yes. Yes. It was the first time that I'd been in an area with that many people since all this began.
Mhm.
It was nice.
And how do you feel? How it was last week or the week before?
It was last week. Last week. And the side effects that I had, I was sleepy, which is pretty common, it sounds like. Made me sleepy. I felt slightly nauseous, and so I went to sleep. I was like, nope, done.
Yep.
I had some lower back pain in the middle of the night, laying in bed, and that my wife had the same. So I figure,
Just
we were
body
able to-
aches and stuff.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, and it was nothing horrible. I mean, I got up the next morning and I was fine. I started to feel like I maybe had a slight fever the next day, like in the late afternoon. So I went back to sleep.
Yeah.
Which, it worked, and I got up the next day and I was fine. My arm was sore the second day, but other than that, I mean, it wasn't bad. I know results may vary depending on for everybody, but one guy I talked to said when he got his that he felt hungover. It was like having a hangover. So it's
I mean, maybe he was hungover, but
maybe he was. I didn't think about that. Right.
I felt really hungover for some reason after all those beers that night.
Right. I downed that 30 pack, but that couldn't have been it.
No.
Yeah. So it was. I mean, I'm so glad to have started the process, and we were able to go out and eat at a restaurant for the first time since all this began. So it's been like March 11th of last year was like the last time that I had been even like sitting outside at a restaurant. We just hadn't done it, And, it was great. It was amazing. It was the best hamburger I've ever had in my life.
Woo! Yes, because you didn't have to make it, and got to sit outside.
So it was good. It was well worth it. And I go back in a couple weeks for my second, and I'm excited to get it. And it feels like there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Right. Yeah, I know. So the eligibility opened up here in Portland, Oregon. I don't know, April 5th or something. They changed it. It was the 9th and then the 5th, whatever.
Right.
So I was a little confused. I was getting a little upset because I couldn't get an appointment. I was like, am I just a little dense and I'm not being able to figure out this website? But apparently like a lot of people just weren't able to get them. So I actually set up an appointment at a Rite Aid.
Nice.
I was like, apparently they release them at 9 a.m. the appointments. I was up on a day off early to make sure I could get on the website. And literally I was in the, it's like, oh yeah, there's a slot available. I'm like filling in my information. By the time I filled out all my information, like, I'm sorry, that spot's taken. And I was like, no, I'm like, but I finally got an appointment. So mine's for Thursday.
Nice.
At the Rite Aid. And I'm getting the Johnson & Johnson one, which I was like, whatever, that's fine. So I just get one shot.
That's great.
And my assistant at my job, he got the Johnson & Johnson one, and he just had mild fever the day after and some body aches, and then he was kind of fine. So
perfect. That's great.
I'm very excited about that. I almost feel like I might get emotional when I actually get it, just because it's like such a relief and like so much
it is
stress around this whole thing. I know it still takes like 2 weeks after you get your shot or your final shot before you're completely vaccinated and all that. So it's not like I'm going to go out and do whatever, but it's at least it's that, like you said, it's one step closer where, you know, there's
totally
stuff happening. I feel like, you know, people are getting out there and starting to get some sort of normalcy back into our lives a little bit. You know, it's going to be different, but being able to hug someone and hang out with some friends will be amazing.
It will, absolutely. And yeah, we got a little weepy when we got in there. You know, it was my wife and I got the same time, and so we were able to go in and do it. And it was just like, it was a big thing, you know. It's been a hard year, and I mean, this is the thing we've been waiting for a long time. So I'm glad to get back out and be out in the world again, you know.
Yeah. All right. I think I need a little beverage after the serious talk.
Yes. What do you have?
I have from Ecliptic Brewing, which is a couple blocks down from my apartment.
You're so lucky.
I know.
You're like right around all of the good breweries.
This one is called Flamingo Planet. It's a guava blonde ale. It's a seasonal one. And then after I got it, I was like, wait, did I have this one last year? So guess what? I got to look on Untapped.
Yes.
Untapped app.
Nice. Yep.
Flamingo.
If this is your first time listening, the Untapped app is a beer app that we use to keep track of and check in when we try different beers. Yes. So I know I couldn't think of another word for it. So
beers.
You know, beers.
I don't think I had this one. Okay.
No,
so,
good.
Flamingo Planet is an easy drinking blonde ale brewed with guava. Imagine that. 100% pale malt provides a light body and golden color, lightly hopped with Amarillo and Crystal. This juicy beer is sure to blast you away with a tropical planet paradise.
Hey, woo. I like it. Nice.
Yeah, that's not. It sounded more crazier than it actually is.
I feel like guava is kind of one of those, it's kind of on the low down kind of fruit. Like you just don't know that it's not like boom in your face, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like a lemon. It's not
like it,
you know? Yeah. Good.
So this is a 5.5 ABV and a 25 IBU from Ecliptic Brewing here in Portland, Oregon.
Nice. So for me this time around, one of my favorite types of beer is a Kolsch. I love a Kolsch, and I happened to come across a Kolsch that was brewed and bottled in Germany, an actual German Kolsch from where it all began. And I had to get this, so I have this Sooner Kolsch, and it is it's a formidable bottle here. It's pretty decent size. There is a lot of German on the label that I mostly can't understand. I see a word that I'm sure is traditional. Gehopft, vollmundig und spritzig. Sorry, German listeners or German-speaking folks for.
Can you put that back up so I can see it? Sorry.
Whatever butchery.
Sooner, S-U-N-N-E-R.
Yes.
Sooner Kolsch. Okay.
Sooner Kolsch. And it apparently was created in 1830, and I've been staring at this since we started talking, so I'm just going to drink some because
doesn't have much information. Just regional brewery in Cologne.
Yeah, well, I figure they've been making it for almost 200 years, so
it's light in color and malt character. This style's fermentation process yields a light character, which is accompanied by a slightly dry, crisp finish.
That is it's slightly sweet. It is crisp. It's light. It's not bad.
Nice.
I don't know that this would ever be my go-to Kolsch, but I'm glad to have tried it.
Did you get that at the John's Marketplace place?
Yeah. From a few weeks ago when I went on my latest beer run and went for a lot of international beers that, you know, are from places that I've never tried them from. Obviously, I've tried German beers, but I had a beer a couple nights ago from Myanmar, which was it was not good. it was rough. So you know, it's been interesting though to try these different beers, and I've got a couple others that I'm kind of just saving for future episodes. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, this one's a good one. I'm pretty sure this is the kind of the same one that from last year, but
yes,
it's all right.
oh good,
Can
good,
have it again.
yes, yes. So yeah,
So
I
today I started, well, I guess on Monday, whatever Monday, yesterday, when we released this, that'll be yesterday.
yeah,
I started my week of vacation, my staycation, even though I am going to go out to the coast on, I think, Wednesday. I'm going to go out there. But yeah, I'm
nice.
just excited to have some time off, finish getting my apartment kind of put together. Do my one of my good friends is coming into town for a while. He's already fully vaccinated, and I'm just gonna make it happen. And
Nice.
because I haven't seen good friends in a long time, and I think my mental health is worth a little bit of whatever. So yeah, I'm excited to show him around Portland. He's been once before, but
Nice.
yeah, just exploring a little bit. Go out to the coast, just be relaxed, and try not to worry about work and all
Yeah.
that stuff. And yeah, so I'm
That
kind of excited about that.
that's good. That's good. You need that. It's nice to be able to rest, recharge, you know.
Hmm. It was
It's
weird, getting up today and not having to go into work, and
mm, I bet. I
it's
bet.
like
Yeah.
I don't need to be up at 6 a.m, but okay, body,
Right, right. Yeah,
I
you
can
can
try and sleep in.
totally. It's hard. It's hard to sleep in. I find that's a thing
I never
now. It's
believed my mom when she's like, "You just wait until you get older," and
mhm.
no,
You're like, no, no,
no,
I
that'll
will
never
continue.
happen. I will
I'll be able to
sleep
sleep
in. Yeah, no,
15 hours. Yeah,
yeah,
right.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
when I'm just like sleep the day away.
Yeah. Yeah. Hard. It's hard to do now for sure. So the last thing that I have on my list is I got a. Uh, I'll throw this out here to start. I've become an Apple fanboy, so
Okay, okay.
all of my stuff is Apple stuff, and you know it just since it's I'm so into that ecosystem, I use all the stuff, and I mean it works well for me. It's not
Yeah.
you know I mean from the watch to the laptop to everything else, it's just it works. So
Okay.
um I needed to get a pair of Bluetooth headphones
Okay.
that actually worked for me and sounded good. And I have a pair now that uh, are not great, at least in my estimation. So I decided to get the Apple AirPods Max. And I'm not
Apple
wearing them now
AirPods
because
Max.
they don't work well for recording podcasts.
Okay.
So
Well, maybe we'll get it figured out, but it was sounding
yeah,
a little
yeah,
weird.
yeah. But yeah, they're definitely not for recording and all of that, from what I understand. But as far as audio quality and all of that, uh, I mean, man, it's insane. Like uh, these headphones that I'm wearing now are they're made by a company called Oppo, OPPO, and these are the PM3s, and they're a planar magnetic headphone that you know I spent a decent amount of money on, and I've had them for years, and I love them. But they have a cord, and since
Yeah,
I
you got to
work
be attached.
on my laptop all the time, my life is connected to cords, and
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I wanted that to not be the case. I love these headphones, and when you pair them with an amp, they sound phenomenal, and they're definitely hard to beat. But these Apple headphones are insane. The sound, the separation. I'm going back and listening to music, like songs that I know, just to listen for more detail, you
Okay.
know, in different ways. I can obviously do that with these that I'm wearing, and I do that a lot. But with these other headphones, I'm not dragging a cord around and all of that. It's a lot more convenient. Uh, they sound really good. I mean, music sounds great. Shows are phenomenal. Like there's a way that you can turn on this transparency mode where you don't have to take them off, and you can hear just like you're not wearing headphones. It's insane. It's
Okay.
a lot of Bluetooth headphones have that, but it's not great quality. So it still sounds like you're listening through through something, and it's just
Yeah.
it's not great. This makes it sound like it's just coming out of your ears, like you don't have headphones on.
Okay.
And uh have it, and being able to do that is wonderful. But it's also when I tried watching a show on my iPad, and I had the headphones on, and it felt like I wasn't wearing any headphones at all. It was like watching a show on TV with
Yep.
other people in the room. And I had
Okay.
to stop and say, can you hear this? I was asking my wife and my kids, and they're like, no, we can't hear it. It was amazing. It's got spatial audio, which is a thing where if the sound is in front of you, it works like your ears do, so that if you turn to your head, the sound still stays there. It doesn't
Okay. Okay.
move around
That's
with you.
cool.
It's interesting. I can see them using it more, and I absolutely bet that the next Apple TV that comes out will have support for that.
Yeah.
I'm super impressed with the headphones, and I think I definitely can't see, buying a new pair. I would think I'd probably be hard pressed to want to upgrade with whatever their next version is, unless it's just mind blowing, which I mean,
Right.
who knows? I'm super impressed with these, and it's a pair of headphones that does everything that I want it to. So, I would say if you're an Apple aficionado and you are in the market for an expensive pair of headphones
Okay.
that
Okay.
are Bluetooth, uh, go with those, because I mean, I've tried the Sony XM4s, which are like they're the the ones that have been the best on the market until these came out. And I mean, they're great. The Sony sound phenomenal, but these still, in my opinion, sound better. So I've tried those. I've tried the Bose and these Apple headphones, and yes, they're glorious. So
Nice.
uh,
And
there
they're
we
which
go.
ones? What is it? What are they called?
The AirPods Max.
AirPod Max.
Yeah, yeah. So they come in a bunch of different colors. It's like a space gray and the light
Just the Apple,
silver,
the
the
Apple
Apple
phone
colors.
colors, whatever.
Yeah, then they've got like a blue, a green, and a pink.
Okay.
And the pink looks awesome, except for the rose gold kind of thing that they have on the ear cups. The
Mm,
actual like band is this reddish that I loved, but I don't like the rose gold. Otherwise, I would have been rocking the pink headphones, because man,
okay.
they were amazing. But I can't hang with rose gold. So there we go. Yes.
I have one quick thing I want to add.
Yeah.
So I struggle sleeping quite a
Mm.
bit, and I probably should be getting the sleep apnea test thing, but I haven't done that. Instead, I started doing the sleep cycle thing, and it like listens for your breathing and your snoring,
Oh wow.
to, like tell you quality of sleep, how long you sleep, blah blah blah. Which is weird because I'm like, doesn't it have to have your heart rate and all that stuff? It doesn't have any of that,
Huh.
but it gives you like this graph of like when you're snoring and when you're in deep sleep or not, how long you're sleeping.
Oh wow.
But it also you can listen to the snoring. I don't know.
Oh, we've got to hear this.
I know. I was like, I got to turn. Well, that's the fish tank noise.
Oh wow. It's like wow. Here we go. Oh, some snoring.
Well, it's not as bad as I thought. Because I'm like, I don't think I snore that bad, but I know that I do. But
Yeah.
so I thought that was kind of cool. I feel like I knew that I'm not getting that much sleep, so
Sure.
it's kind of validating that fact. So
Yeah.
this one, like this day, I fell asleep 9 minutes after I started this thing, which seemed pretty quick. Other days it's not that,
Right. Right. Well, I mean, it's good that there's something like that
Yeah, though,
you know.
and their one feature that I kind of liked is that there's an alarm associated with it, but you tell it a period of time that you want to wake up, and it'll wake you up when you're in the lightest sleep.
Oh wow.
So it won't wake you up when you're in REM sleep,
Huh.
but whenever you're in the lightest sleep during that time period, it'll start this like alarm. It's like just a sound that starts going. So it doesn't like jolt you out of a good rest. So it feels like you're just kind of waking up naturally, which I have actually kind of enjoyed.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Nice.
I have it set. I normally will kind of wake up around 6, like it's before or a little after.
Yeah.
So I just have it set to do that. And it kind of wakes you up when you're, in the lightest sleep of cycle or whatever. I don't know the technical terms, but
Right.
which I
Well,
thought
hey,
was really kind of good.
yeah, that's great. That's awesome. It's nice to have something like that. I think I mean we've talked. I use a CPAP, and we've talked about that multiple times. I think there's actually an episode about
Oh yeah.
so you're wearing a CPAP, or something like that. You can look back through the archives, but yeah, I recommend anybody who thinks they might need it, check it out. But it's also good to have something like that to kind of establish, okay, this could be a concern.
Yeah, that's what I kind of wanted. I'm like, I don't know how accurate it is, but
Sure.
also I thought it was fun that it recorded me so I could actually hear how obnoxious I sounded.
They know that sometimes that is enough to spur you to look into it more. Yeah. So, well,
All right.
good.
Well, that's all I really have for today, Bruce.
Okay. Well, one other thing that we want to throw out to everybody listening.
Oh, yes.
We have been doing Heavy Conversation every week since 2018, June of 2018. And we are going to start revamping a little bit, kind of cleaning house and sprucing things up a bit. And to do that, we're going to take a short break in May so that we can come back with basically some new shows, kind of a new focus, a new not new direction, but just a way to take some of the things that we love and kind of crank them up with the show. So
yeah, just so we can kind of get a little bit more focused and organized behind the episodes. It's been a struggle to do this on a weekly basis, so we want to kind of plan out things a little bit further in advance.
Yes.
We'll be completely vaccinated by the time the break is over. Maybe we can start recording in person again. We'll kind of explore some of that kind of stuff. Maybe we can record in different places or on location. So yeah, we're going to take a break in May. So take a month off. Wanted to let everyone know that we are taking a break. We'll be back.
Yes.
For what is it? Our third anniversary.
Our third anniversary is the first week of June. So that's what we're aiming for at this point. And as far as like the every week thing, we are coming up on 160 episodes, something like that. So that's 160 different things that you've got to come up with, each week. It's a lot of stuff. And so it has been a lot of fun to be able to do this and watch it grow and see people become engaged in it and all of that. But we want to rework a few things and come back and make it even more fun and interesting. So the core idea of Heavy Conversation is friends talking about whatever. I mean, from bike riding to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So, we're going to cover all kinds of different things. We're going to make it fun. And we hope that you will continue to be along for the ride.
Yeah, absolutely. And please reach out to us on our social media. Let us know what topics you've enjoyed listening to, and maybe let us know what things we should be talking about, what you want to hear more of, all that kind of stuff. Hit us up at Heavy Convo on social media, anywhere, and we'll be back next week with another episode.
Yes, we will.
All right. Thanks, Bruce.
Thanks, Jody.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for listening to Heavy Conversation. Be sure to like and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your
podcasts.